Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's video going to be going over my 16 tap draft Keezer system here. I've had this built for a couple years now, and I have a 3-part series on my build process on how this was put together. And this is a shout out to the apartment brewer. He actually just recently did a video of his Keezer build, and it inspired me to kind of do mine. This has really been a labor of love as I've built it here, and now that it's been complete and been running for the past couple years, there's a couple things I've added since that 3-video series, and just let's get into it. So I kind of moved it around here in the basement, and just for the sake of the size, it's very, very large. It's from here to here, I believe, is about a little over 6 feet. And height-wise, we're looking at just under 4 feet as with the, when you add in the 2x10 collar here. And it is insanely heavy, especially when you have all 16 of the kegs inside. I don't have 16 in there at the moment. I do have quite a bit that's on tap now. I got a strawberry pear cider, a cranberry hard seltzer, pumpkin pie ale, blueberry honey amber ale, which is from Local Honey. My wife and I made some Chianti wine a while back, and obviously we have some water for those that need. And then it kind of progressively gets a little bit heavier on the ABV. Got some apple cider, which we just finished. That's like a 4.5-year-old batch that we decided to add a little bit of sweetener to it, and frozen apple juice to make that a little less tart. And here are I like to say the rocket fuel batches of beer that we've done. We have a porter, vanilla rum porter that has an entire handle of Jim Beam in there, and we have a raspberry chocolate stout which has white chocolate nibs, and we also did 4 pounds of raspberries in there, so very, very delicious. I will say that we use Northeast raspberries, so it is a little bit more tart. The soil over, at least where I live here in the northeastern United States, is a little bit more acidic, so that's more of a tart. And then finally, one of my most powerful beers that I've made is a Nitro Imperial Stout. It's named after my grandfather. It's about 10.4%, and that has a proper stout nozzle on this, running on beer gas and about 30 psi. It's quite an impressive setup, I think. I don't see too many Keezers, one, of this size, and two, just having the type of features. The Intertap system is what I'm using. It's got all the removable nozzles. You can put that the growler filler. You can put the stout nozzle like here. I have a couple extra nozzles as I start to expand my beers that do run on beer gas. And then it has the specialized ball lock if you're using it for filling up your bottles and such. The glass rinser has been probably one of the most amazing features. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from friends and from home brewers alike. The thing that I've added, and unfortunately I don't have this filled up with water, it does have the 2 tanks in the back still, but I don't have it filled up with water since right now we're under COVID guidelines. We really haven't had a lot of people over, and it's just hasn't really been a need to kind of set it up. But I do have the switch in the back here, which I can get access to for the fan. And then over here, if I can remember where it is, the blue light is when the glass rinser is running. When it's not running, when it reaches pressure, it'll actually turn red. And that's something that's kind of unique that I wanted to add for extra flair. Right now it's just going to run and there's really no water in there. But I will post a link here on my channel that actually shows it in action. So it's red when it's sitting, you push it down, and then it will turn blue. But it looks really cool, especially when we have the different lighting down here. So to help with the sealing of the lid here, I put on a ratchet strap. This kind of holds the lid down against the collar so that there's no air leaks. I'm really glad that I put on the extra foam sealer around the edges because it's not perfectly straight. There's going to be some imperfections that allow air to come through, but with it being held down that way, it will prevent any kind of air leaks. And got to have Homer Simpson, right? I think there's another gift for my wife. Big Simpsons fan, and we have the We have the bottle opener here from my friend who just got it for me one time for my birthday, and it's been great. I really enjoy it. I put the pretzel thing on there because I was actually working on my pretzel warmer here. That's another thing I got to work on. But let's take a look on the inside. All right, so I've removed that strap, and then it allows it to be opened up. There's quite a bit going on in here, but one thing I've noticed with the Keezer is that it doesn't really get rid of condensation too well, so I've added two of these damperids, and as the air is circulating, all that moisture gets absorbed by those damperids. Very good tool to have. Otherwise we tend to get a little bit of water and ice collecting up on the bottom here, and that's actually where the drain is located at, so it's actually playing this way, so all the water will go that way. But these two damperids keep that under control. I have the 8-way manifold. This is currently running at 14 psi, and that's under one side of the tank. There's two regulators in the back. Second regulator's right here. This is running at a little bit of a lower pressure. I think it's like 9 or 10 psi. That's for all the porters and stouts. And then that one Imperial Stout is separate running on beer gas, so that is that one tap right here. I do have another 4-way manifold that I don't have installed since I don't have all the kegs in there. That usually runs my jockey box, which is right over here. And yeah, the overall setup has been great. I have two 2.5 gallon kegs right here, which really do come in handy. I'm almost thinking I should get one more just to have, just for extra. They really come in handy if you're splitting a batch with someone, or a 5-gallon batch is what I'm referring to. But overall, I mean, this is great. We have 4-inch shanks here. I did not put any clamps on here. This type of tubing, I went and got a little bit cheaper. It's 3/16 by 5/16, I believe, and it's definitely designed to handle the pressure. I had to boil it and then force it on there. It has the barb right here, and I have not had any issues running at 15 psi. Probably wouldn't go much more than that, but it was a great way to get my 11.5, 13 feet of line for each of the shanks here without breaking the bank. The bilge fan has been running great. I've been keeping it at a low speed. It's an Atwood Turbo 3000 with a 3-inch to 2-inch adapter here. And again, this is it's being drawn up from the T-fitting here up, and then it's recirculating it that way. Makes life a lot easier. The temperature probe, as suggested by many people, I actually have it right inside. There's water inside that glass bottle there, and I just have it pegged up right next to it. I don't have it in the water. I was more concerned that the temperature probe may wind up corroding over time or having a problem like shorting out or something. So that actually has been working great, and it keeps the liquid very consistent. I set the controller between 38 and 41 degrees, and it's been able to hold it no problem. The magnetic reed switches have been also a very good feature to have. They're located right here, and this reed switch tells the relay in the back to operate the lights and then the fan. So when the lid is open, the light is on, and when the lid is closed, it'll turn on the fan. And probably one of the best features I've done for this Keezer. Right now, if I put my hand in here, it's pretty cold down here, like you would a refrigerator, and it's all that colder air sinks, so it's not coming out of the Keezer at all, and it works great. I added some more insulation, a little bit more here in the front, just to kind of help with the temperature maintaining it, and really haven't seen any big issues with that, so I'm very happy with how that turned out. Finally, on the back end here is where all the gas tanks are and everything, and it's behind this curtain. Kind of hides everything, and it's also good because it goes in between the support pole and underneath the stairs, because the shelf really does kind of stick out pretty far. But I have all the gas lines shut off so that I don't lose any gas. But the one side for that 8-way manifold is here, You have the other 4-way, but I can always expand to 8, so there's my CO2. And then of course I have my 20 cubic foot beer gas nitrogen setup. And again, I have it closed because right now they're not connected to the kegs. You know, I don't want to, you know, wind up wasting gas if I don't have to. But overall here is the pump, and it is a bit of a kludgy looking wiring job here, but it essentially operates that one relay that you see right next to the pump, and that's what runs this wire up here and goes up and around to the LEDs, which are in the front. Do check out the separate video, as I mentioned. This is what runs the LEDs in here. I have not had an issue with them shorting out. They are waterproof, and it's just held in by double-sided tape. And I can easily remove this here in order to take the drip tray out in order to clean it. So I hope this has been entertaining for everyone. Again, if there's any questions about how to build one of these things, you know, there's a lot of information online. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. But thank you for watching, and take care, guys.